first place to go is the object being cataloged itself. Look in the obvious areas. If you have a book, start by going to the title page and the title page verso. For an audiobook on CD, try the case, the packaging, and any text printed on the physical discs themselves. For a DVD or a Blu-ray, try the disc container. If you need the numbered pages in a book, crack open the book and check the numbering. If you need to know the height of an item, grab a ruler that notates in centimeters and measure things. And if by doing all of this you can find out everything that you need to know, well, great, that's good. But if there are things that you can't discover, I would recommend that you go to worldcat.org. This is a gigantic catalog with records for almost anything that you can think of that a person might ever need to catalog. To be clear, you can't directly import entire MARC records just by going to worldcat.org in a standard web browser. But you can consult the records if you have questions about terminology or phrasing or whatnot. And if needed, you can copy elements one by one, paste them into Evergreen's flat text editor, and kind of go from there. The link to worldcat.org is on the screen right now, and we will also include it in the further resources section of this webinar. And a third place that you can go to borrow data is similar MARC records that are already in Spark. Even if Spark doesn't have a MARC record for the exact version of your item, they may have a version of that item in another format or another edition. Certain portions of a MARC record will be the same regardless of format. The 100 field for author, for example, or the 520 field for plot description. If you are cataloging a mass-market paperback edition of a novel, and Spark only has an original first edition hardcover version of the novel, well, the bad news is that you would need to create a new MARC record for your mass-market paperback. But the good news is that if you do need to do original cataloging, if you go to flat text editor for each record, you can just copy and paste large portions from one to the other. For a demonstration of this basic kind of thing, let's suppose that I needed to catalog this CD audiobook. I've searched through Spark, and we definitely do not have a MARC record for this. I have also looked through Z39.50, and none of the sources there can give me anything either. So it looks like I will need to create an original catalog record. To do this, I of course would go open the web client, I would go to create new MARC record, and I would load the audiobook on CD MARC template. If I wanted to borrow from other Spark records, I would open up a new tab in my browser window, and then I would go to Search the Catalog. I would want to proceed using two different search elements. First, I would search by title, using the first few words from the title of my item. In this case, I would use the phrase, "Year the Yankees lost the pennant." Then I would open up another search row, and I would also search by author, using just the last name of my author. In this case, that last name is Wallop. I would need to check to make sure that I was searching all of Spark. And finally, with everything properly configured, we just click the Search button. As it happens, it looks like Spark does have a MARC record that could be of some use. It looks like this record is for a printed book edition. I click the title to load the record. Now we go to the Mark Edit tab. We may need to scroll down on the screen a little bit. But after reviewing things, yes, there is a lot here that could be helpful. We'll start with the 100 line, the main entry author field. Highlight the entire row of text and then copy it. To copy, you can either right-click on the selection, then left-click on Copy, or by keyboard on a Windows machine press Ctrl-C, or on a Mac press Command-C. Next, go back to the first browser tab, highlight the entire 100 line, and then we paste. To paste, you right-click on the selection and then click on Paste, or on a Windows machine, use the keyboard, press Ctrl-V, or on a Macintosh, press Command-V. And once you do that, the entire 100 field from the other record is inserted. And from there, just lather, rinse, and repeat. Go to the other browser tab, and, well, let's see, another element that we can take from is the 520 field, the plot summary. So we highlight the entire field and copy it. We go back to the first browser tab, highlight the 520 line, and paste, thus inserting the entire plot summary. Switch browser tabs again, and this time, what the heck, let's think big. We'll borrow all of the 650 subject fields. We highlight all of them, and then we copy. Then we switch browser tabs, select the only 650 line present, and we paste, and there they all are. There's still lots of work for us to do to finish this cataloging job. But with only the tiny amount of work that we've just done, we've already completed quite a bit. Borrowing like this, it promotes consistency between records, and it makes our lives as catalogers just a little bit less difficult.